will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, judges. In their side of the house, they said that victims will not have emotional burden because their memory is already erased. And I would say it's true that victims will not have emotional burden, but that means victims cannot fulfill their emotional burden as they please, as they should have their own right to move on by themselves. With just erasing their memory, it will not touch the root of the cause. And they said that criminals also do not have the emotional burden because their memory is already erased. And that's true. But that means criminals will not have the sense of regret. Okay. Even if people are scared of imprisonment, they said, it's not as significant as having to get through imprisonment and social punishment like we have in our side of the house from the victim and society. So that means people have a higher possibility to commit more crime since they are feeling safe from social punishment. Okay. First thing first, I will move to my setup. This motion is actually a proposal motion. That means we have to bring mechanization. Okay. Move on to my POP. Why erasing society's memory of the crime committed by offender after their release from prison is still unjust for the victims, and for the second one, why society's memory of the crime committed by offender after their release from prison is important. The responsible is government, and the vulnerable is victims of crime. And the keyword is actually offender. Offender is the one who did crime. Offender post-release from prison is the ones who did crime and was released from prison. Okay, move on to the status quo. These days, offenders who committed crime are usually sentenced with imprisonment. Their crimes usually are reported in news, social media, etc. to be known publicly. The victim also know who the perpetrator is. The problem, and what is actually the problem, with erasing society's memory of the crime done by the offender, the society cannot contribute in seeking justice for the victim. So that means there will be no social punishment the offender will encounter. The government mentioned that there will be same amount of crimes in both sides of the house, but I do not agree, since in our side of the house, people are still scared of getting social punishment other than imprisonment. Society also don't have enough awareness like what we got in our side of the house. Other than that, the victims have the right to move on with their own will, so they will get the just that cannot be fulfilled in their side of the house. Criminals also don't have sense of regret if their memory also erased. Okay, move on to my argument. Why erasing society's memory of the crime offender did after their release make society unable to have more innovation related to crimes. Context. In so many cases, the victims and society have actually developed an innovation post-crime that they encountered. For example, Amber Alert that was made by Amber's mother and parents post the incident that caused Amber to be raped and murdered. This innovation helps so many other children. And for another example is the hashtag #MeToo for post-rape women. They use these hashtags to spread awareness regarding rape. And for the mechanization of this argument, if the society's memory are erased, the urge of them making new innovation to prevent crime and spread awareness are gone, so they don't feel that innovation is needed and urgent. Likelihood. Why victims and victims' family? Why is it likely for them? For the first one, they want to prevent the same incidents, and for the second one, to validate their feelings so they can move on positively rather than just forget. And for the society, they feel the urgency to help because humans have sympathy, since humans are an emotional creature. And for the impacts, there are new innovations to prevent crimes in the future. and people are more aware about their surroundings. And lastly, it is comparative of our side of the house and their side of the house. In their side of the house, people just forget and don't have sense of awareness, so they don't have new innovation to prevent future crimes. In their side of the house, victims don't have the right to move on whenever they want, so their emotion burden is still not fulfilled regardless their erased memory. Okay, actually in my setup, there's a mechanism. Rather than erasing memory, in our side of the house, we are prioritizing rehabilitation for both criminals and victims. Although in their side of the house, they said they also have rehabilitation, but in our side of the house, the rehab is so prioritized because we think that if we just erase the memory of the victims and the criminals, it is not the root of the cause. But with prioritized rehabilitation, it will be more effective.